Good morning. Victims of Larry Nassar are speaking up. The women say the investigators turned a blind eye to the reports that came out 9 months ago. They have filed claims with the FBI. Find out how much next.
And the war is continuing in Ukraine, and the United States is poised to provide more evidence. How much more money the Biden administration is planning to send will be used, plus why the president says now is the time to act.
Warmer temperatures are on the way, as well as some humidity. Our weather team times out what you can expect for the weekend. Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Well, good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Emily Harless.
And I'm Alex Almanza. Today is the 52nd Earth Day. That's a day where everyone is reminded to protect the environment, restore damaged ecosystems, and live a more sustainable life. And of course, today's a little bit of a weird start to the day, as we're going to get a little bit of rain.
Little weird rain, and then some warmth maybe coming our way.
That's right.
So
fog.
It'll be very exciting to see how that ends up working out. But the Biden administration is providing more assistance as it fights against the Russian invasion. Yesterday, President Biden announced he will request Congress pass an $800 million package for Ukraine, and that's not all.
In addition to bolstering Ukraine's resistance on the battlefield, we're also demonstrating our support for the people of Ukraine. Today, the United States is announcing that we intend to provide an additional $500 million in direct economic assistance to the Ukrainian government.
That money can be used to support communities hit hard by fighting and pay workers who are providing essential services. According to the president, the U.S. has provided about $1 billion worth of economic aid to Ukraine over the past 2 months.
U.S. airline profits are expected to take off in the near future due to the lift of travel restrictions caused by the pandemic. For the past 2 years, many carriers, such as United Airlines, reported major losses in the first quarter. Well, they expect to see record revenue in the current quarter. The second quarter began with the spring travel season and ends at the peak of summer travel in it. And analysts expect the travel industry will get a big boost. Officials at American say that last month boosted most bookings and revenue in company history.
More than a dozen women who claim to have been victimized by former USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar have filed claims with the FBI asking for $130 million. The women say FBI investigators turned a blind eye to their allegations of sexual abuse by Nassar. Those claims are largely based on Inspector General's report that came out 9 months ago. It revealed senior FBI officials failed to respond to their allegations, and when they finally did, numerous errors were made. Nassar was eventually tried and convicted of sexual misconduct and child pornography charges. He's serving more than 100 years in prison. Each of the 13 women are seeking $10 million.
Farmers start being on the lookout for potential hackers. According to the warning from the FBI they issued Wednesday, officials are saying cyber criminals might go after agriculture cooperatives during the planting and harvesting seasons. They believe they could be more vulnerable and willing to pay off the extortion. The FBI says 6 grain companies were targeted last fall, and 2 others have already been attacked this year. In a public advisory, federal officials say a major disruption of grain production would impact the entire food chain. They're calling on farmers to take defensive measures against the potential threat.
And as we were mentioning earlier, today is Earth Day, and like you said, we're getting a little rain this morning on the way in.
Right, and it's looking a little foggy, but Kristen, what can you tell us about what's going on out there?
Yes, good morning. We are starting off our day with a little bit of cool temperatures because of the slight rain we had this morning, but we are going to warm up later this weekend. Right now at Muncie, we are sitting at 54 degrees, Fort Wayne 48, Indianapolis 52, around the high 50s all across the board. As look at the winds today, pretty calm, but they are going to pick up as we go throughout our weekend in 10 Fort Wayne, 5 in Lafayette. Now, as we look at our radar, we see those showers coming through. They already came through earlier this morning. You still might see a few spotty showers here or there throughout the day, but no heavy downpours, nothing significant. So what are we tracking for the weekend? We're tracking those strong winds going to Saturday and Sunday. The warm temperatures, we're going to be seeing 80-degree temperatures this weekend. That's super exciting. And slight rain chances on Sunday night. You might hear a few rumbles of thunder as well. That and more on our full forecast later.
All right, thanks, Kristen. Just ahead, how an Anderson man is changing lives one can at a time.
That's after your weather now. Welcome back. The current time is 8:06 and you are taking a live look outside at the bell tower. It's looking to be a beautiful day today. U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported Thursday that childhood vaccination rates for measles, mumps, and rubella and other conditions fell during the last school year. Researchers said vaccinations dropped by about 1 percentage point for 3 immunizations. Scientists looked at data reported in 47 states and Washington, D.C., covering more than 3 million children. The CDC also found the rate of children with a vaccine exemption was the same as the previous year, 2.5%. Researchers say the overall drop could be tied to the pandemic, namely tougher access to appointments and inaccessible data. Well, a man in Anderson started doing something big to help kids in 2003 and hasn't stopped since.
Tara Konechny met with the Can Man about what inspired him to do what he does now.
You can find Larry Van Ness all over Anderson, Indiana, doing what he does best.
You want me to get it?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Picking up pop tabs for the Ronald McDonald House in Indianapolis.
Yeah. That one.
25 million to be exact.
Oh, I love doing it. Saved my life.
Larry is best known as the Can Man. Shadyside Park in Anderson changed his life forever when a family at the park dared him to collect 1 million pop tabs.
We started talking, and they dared me to get 1 million. And after they left, I walked over and got canned.
He set out to reach his goal and hasn't looked back since.
Me feel good because years ago you wouldn't want to know me. I just stole off of you in a minute for drugs and stuff. Oh, Lordy. But now I give instead of take. I owe it, and especially to kids.
The Can Man, just turning 75, is set out to reach a new goal, his 26 millionth pop tab. He is roughly halfway to that goal. He spends his days walking outside to find every aluminum tab he can.
And it gives me a bunch of exercise. I walk around town every day, all over. Before you guys came, I was already getting routes done.
How he keeps track of them is a different story.
With the names on it. This is all my hundreds. Then I get 100, that's my thousands. That's how I do it.
Homeless at 16, Van Ness became an alcoholic. Ever since he started collecting pop tabs, he turned his life around. He says he's a walking miracle.
I just decided to be a tabaholic instead of alcoholic. You can do it if you want to. Don't let somebody say you can't, because you can. Look at me. I'm supposed to be dead.
Although this story involves the Can Man, he says he doesn't want it to be about him, but for the kids at the Ronald McDonald House.
I've got little boys and little girls who wants to be can man and can woman when they get bigger. I'm serious. Yeah, they've told me that.
In Anderson, Tara Konechny, Newslink, Indiana.
Well, the pop tabs for the Ronald McDonald House get recycled and turned into money for up to 5,000 families each year. The tabs cover the cost of up to 3 operating rooms.
Well, Larry doesn't collect his tabs alone. If you would like to help him reach his goal and start collecting yourself, you can send tabs to Old National Bank in Anderson at 219 South Scatterfield Road, addressed to Raina Rigney. What a beautiful story.
Yeah.
All right, well, this week on our Adopt a Paw segment, we meet a paw who's had a rough past, but is hoping to find his forever home.
That's right, and just a warning, he's very adorable. This morning, we meet Craig. He's 5 years old and described as a very goofy fella. Now, he's dog selective and would require a bigger fenced-in yard. Craig will do well in a home with children 10 and older, as well as pets who are his size or bigger. Now, if you're interested in making Craig a part of your family, just head on over to the MACS website at cityofmuncie.com. There you can also find other pets currently awaiting a forever home. Look at him.
It's an adorable dog, right? Well, a Muncie organization is celebrating Muncie residents who have made an effort to keep the community clean. Muncie Delaware Clean and Beautiful is giving out Oscar Awards tonight for Earth Day. That's Oscar from the Grouch from Elmo. The awards are given to community members who keep Muncie beautiful through volunteer work, environmental efforts, or artistic projects. The event kicks off at 5:30 tonight at the Firefly Room in Mad Jack's. They'll have drinks, a guest speaker, and announce this year's award recipients.
Well, a surprise spring snowstorm is in California's Tahoe area is extending ski season. Valena Jones talked to local skiers who are excited about the extra time they now have to hit the slopes.
Surprise spring snow season.
Everyone's stoked.
It's definitely a blessing to have it.
Joshua Mazzarella is still hitting the slopes at a time when typically the season is coming to an end.
You know, you move here for snow and the skiing and, you know, the environment and the people, and every extra day you can get is awesome.
Fresh powder is expected overnight, a surprise after below average snowfall this winter.
We got tons of snow in December and everyone was thinking it was going to be this great, you know, tons of snow, one of the best years ever, and nothing, and literally nothing.
Vacationers thrilled they're in town at the right time, plan to hit the lifts through the weekend.
Now having new fresh snow, I'm from San Diego, so flew all the way up to Reno, rented a car and drove here just for the weekend, the weekend to kind of hit the slopes.
The change in weather is prompting Palisades Tahoe to extend their season by 2 weeks to May 15th.
The snow holds up, we'll go for as long as we can. This was a really rough season. We did not see a lot of snow this season. You know, a couple weeks ago, we were even really concerned that we weren't going to make it through the month of April.
The Sierra is expecting to see a few feet of snow, adding to an already abundant April with 50 inches and counting.
We've gotten more snow in the month of April so far than we got in January, February, and March combined.
A snowstorm celebration, keeping the slopes open through spring.
Wow, this couldn't be a better time.
Well, I'm glad that they were excited for the snow because I was not excited for the snow that we got earlier this week.
No, not at all.
I'm definitely more excited for this 80-degree weather that we might be getting this weekend.
Yes, we're going to see 83 on Saturday and 80 on Sunday. It's definitely going to be way pleasant than what we've been experiencing.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the 80 degrees is definitely better than 50, but we're going to be seeing 50s later in next week. But right now, we are seeing 50s right now because we did have a few showers this morning. Still at 54, Indianapolis 52, Shelbyville at 55. It's going to continue to warm up as we go later into the day. As we look at our winds, they are actually, if we look at our 24-hour temperature change, we have gotten it was colder today. It's a little bit colder than we were, but we're going to continue to warm up. The temperature change is going to increase because we're going to be seeing 80s later this weekend. The winds are pretty calm. They're not going to really pick up until later tonight. We might begin to see the 10-mile-an-hour winds like in Fort Wayne here. But it's going to be later this weekend, but they are going to pick up rather quickly. As we look at our 8-hour ahead, we see that the temperature trend warms up very nicely, starting at 58 and about ending the day at 70. We're by 4 o'clock, and later today, we're going to have 70, basically a high, but we are going to have a few chances of showers throughout the day. Not anything significant, no downpours, no heavy thunderstorms, nothing like that. Just a few isolated maybe sprinkles or just small showers. I mean, 30% is not zero, so just be prepared for anything. We have winds coming out of the southeast at 10 miles an hour. Later tonight, if you do plan on going to the Cardinal Carnival, just again, be ready for anything. We might see a few isolated showers, a few drizzles, but not anything super heavy. We're going to be sitting at 64, and here are the wind gusts at 20. They're going to begin to pick up. That's when we see the winds pick up tonight. Now, let's look at our precision cast. We see that we do have those showers. We do have the cloud cover that is in white, the cloud cover that is in our area later. It's going to begin to clear out. You still see a few spotty showers, but here's the clouds that are going to come. They're not going to produce any significant heavy rain, but they're still going to be here. But by tomorrow, it's definitely going to clear out. This is my most exciting part of the forecast. It's going to be 83 on Saturday, just basically sunny all day. Very little clouds. Again, those winds are picking up from the southwest at 15 miles an hour, gust at 20. But on Sunday, that's when it takes a turn. We're going to start having PM showers. Not anything super heavy to begin with during the day, but as we go in later to the night, it increases to 70%. You even might hear a few rumbles of thunder for Sunday. As we look at our 7-day forecast, you see that, again, going to the weekend pretty warm, but on Monday, we have a 70% chance of showers for most of the day. That rain showers is going to bring in that cold front, dropping our temperatures down to 50. I was really enjoying the warm temperatures. I love the 80. I'm going to take advantage of it, but unfortunately, we are going to go back down to 50 next week.
All right. Well, Kristen, thank you so much. In just a moment, we will have a full breakdown of the Ball State men's tennis team heading into the MAC tournament.
And that's after a message from Vince.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
Welcome back. The current time is 8:17, and you're taking a look outside at the Ball State campus.
It's a pretty beautiful day outside.
It is.
I would say that. And with that, welcome back to Cardinal Weather. I'm Zach Greer.
And I'm Kara Pazuchek. Today we are here to break down our very own Ball State men's tennis team and how they've done throughout the regular season.
Yeah, that's right, Kara. They've battled a lot of injuries throughout the season. They have had different lineup changes throughout the whole year, and it's very interesting to see what they have done throughout the regular season. Right now, Ball State currently sits at 10-10 going into the MAC tournament and 5-5 in conference play. But how exactly did they get here? Kara, let's break down the actual games that they had throughout the regular season,
All right,
starting off before the MAC tournament.
We had Eastern Illinois, which was a home game, and they won that one 7-0, so a really good win for them. And they went on to Cleveland, which was also at home, and they took another win 6-7. But then things changed up when they went away to University of Virginia, where they lost 0-4. The next day, they also lost to Middle Tennessee 0-4 as well. But then they went to Dayton, Ohio, and won 4-3. Back to Indiana at Butler, 4-2 with another win. And then to Cincinnati, where they get out of Indiana, and we lose again 2-5. Then they come back to Indiana at IUPUI with a win for 6-1. And then they lose again at Illinois and at home against Michigan. That's 1-6 and 2-5. So we see this in the beginning season. They're 5-5. So they're consistent in winning and they're consistent in losing part.
Yes.
So really, it could go either way after this.
Right. And then going into the MAC side, they're really looking to improve on their record and kind of move into the higher part of the Mid-American Conference. They started off with a tough loss against Western Michigan, but then bounced back into face-off against Northern Illinois, beating them 5-2. Going again against Toledo, for their next match, they took a tough loss 0-7, but then bounced back to beat Binghamton at home and the University of Buffalo 5-2. And then facing off against the University of Toledo again, they ended up with a nice win, or a loss, of 1-6, and then the big win that they had this season, facing off against Western Michigan at home, beating them 5-2, snapping a 35 MAC win streak for them. And then eventually losing to Northern Illinois and then beating Binghamton once again and then losing to Buffalo. So they finish off this season with a nice 5-5 record in the MAC as well, giving them third place, which they will use to take on the Toledo Rockets this Saturday at Western Michigan. Toledo coming into this match a 2 seed, sitting at 7-3 in the MAC and 14-8 overall in overall in their season. Kara, what is the key takeaway that Ball State has to have to win this matchup?
I think the key takeaway is they need to solidify wins from 4, 5, and 6 singles. So for the past two tournaments, number 4 singles was Vince Orlando. He has a 9-1. So we're kind of hope that could probably go well.
Yes.
Next, number 5 is Eli Heron with a 3-7. Hopefully he can pull it through.
Exactly.
And then on number 6, we've got Peter Petrovic with a 3-0. He's only played 3, but has won every single one. So as long as these 3 can come through, we can really get that win, hopefully.
Yeah, we've had 3 really solid 4, 5, and 6 singles guys, especially Vince Orlando being 9-1 in the singles match is in the MAC has been very, very important. But the key matchup for us to face off against Toledo, they have to be able to solidify the doubles point early. And what they have done whenever they have faced off against Toledo, all 6 of their doubles matches that they have played against Toledo have all been very, very close, losing 4-6, 5-7, 6-7. It's been very close. If they are able to solidify a doubles win, it's going to be very, very big for them to pull off the upset against Toledo. They have not beaten Toledo this year. They lost 0-7 and 1-6. So to be able to go out and get that nice doubles point early could solidify them and help them get the upset. Now, this matchup is going to be taking place in Kalamazoo, Michigan, but we're starting to wonder how the rest of the weather overall is going to be in the country.
Exactly. So let's take a look at the national temperatures with Ryan.
Yes, those temperatures in the Midwest, you're going to see a difference. It's been pretty cold for most of the month of April, but now we're going to see warmer temperatures here in parts of the Midwest. You can see here that warmer temperatures are coming as far south as the Dakotas. But first, we're going to talk about 70 degrees in Kansas City, 71 in Dallas and Fort Worth, and of course 44 degrees in Minneapolis at this hour. And those temperatures are going to warm up pretty nicely as we go throughout the day today. 86 degrees in Dallas and 81 in Kansas City, 84 degrees here in Denver. And these temperatures are actually much warmer than you usually see here back down here in Miami Beach, Florida, which is something you don't see very often for this time of the year. And that's going to continue as we go throughout the day as well. Today, you're going to see, tomorrow, pardon me, you'll see 84 degrees here in Dallas, 74 in Kansas City. You can even see these 80s come out here as far east as Cincinnati as that warm air pushes further east, and 81 degrees, of course, here in Atlanta as well for tomorrow. And this is due to this jet stream that you see here. You see, look at these warmer colors here, up here, these oranges, even some down here at the south. This is pretty much what's going to be in our area and parts of the Midwest as we go through today. And it's also going to be like that as we go through tomorrow and as well as through Sunday as well. But then look at this, these colder colors, they're going to be coming right back into the area for next week. And you're going to see that here on my next 6 to 14 days, or 8 to 14 days, that we're going to be, again, below average in parts of the east and above average out here in the plains and out here in the west, as far southwest as well. So again, that same system or same setup is going to be here as well. But the good news, we don't have to worry about it being too dry, too wet. We're actually going to be kind of dry here as we go through the next 8 to 14 days. You're going to see below average as we go pretty much from the west out here through the mid parts of the south and here to the northeast. The northwest is the only area you're going to see that's going to be actually quite wet. That doesn't mean that we're not going to see any rain in those areas that's dry. It's just the probability that we're going to see drier than average temperatures as we go throughout the course, drier than average precipitation as we go throughout the week. Now, of course, with all that, we have to worry about baseball. Baseball is one of my favorite sports, and you're going to see the Indians here this weekend with those warm temperatures. At 7:05, it's going to be the start time, and it goes 75 degrees, that's game time. And as we go through Saturday at 6:35, 82 degrees. Now that's nice, and 80 degrees on Sunday as they going to start at 1:35. So those temperatures, as we go throughout the course of the weekend, looks pretty nice. Yes.
It looks good. Looks like great baseball weather, so I'm sure they're excited, like you were saying. So.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited for that because actually it's a chance to see some 80-degree temperatures. Unfortunately, we're going to go back to reality in most of the Midwest and parts of the Northeast as well.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. In just a moment, we celebrate Earth Day by breaking down the science of the organizations that keep our ecosystem in place.
Plus, we say goodbye to some of the seniors who have made our show special over the years. That's after your weather now.
From the heart of Ball State to the heart of your community, NewsLink Indiana brings you local and state news you care about. We pride ourselves with giving you the most reliable news coverage, stories that affect you, linking you to the community each night on air and online. NewsLink Indiana, bringing news to the heart of your community.
Plants are important, and it doesn't have to be Earth Day for us to know that.
They contribute to the environment by doing things like creating food and oxygen. Oliver Moster is here breaking down how plants create energy.
After 3 years, the Late Night Carnival is back. The Late Night Carnival team has been setting up all week.
This year's event marks the first time it has returned since the start of the pandemic. That's right, Waking Up with Cardinal Weather's Grace Binkowski is outside of the carnival right now. Grace? Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go to Carnival, so I'm a little upset about that being my senior year.
Yeah,
but-
and Grace, if you're hearing us, if you could bring back some food for us to try out, that'd be great. Elephant ears, corn dogs, all of that.
Any of it. All right, well, the carnival is held right before finals week as a way to wind down and have some fun. They do have 13 thrill rides, food vendors along with game booths, main stage shows, and a fireworks show. It is free for current students, but food vendors do cost money. Guests 16 and up, and staff do have to pay $5 to enter. For anyone looking to skip the lines and get early access, you can still pre-register visiting the tables located in the atrium at the Scramble Light from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So
excited.
I know, it's going to be very fun. And Her Majesty is getting a Barbie doll for her birthday this year in honor of Queen Elizabeth II's 96th birthday yesterday. Mattel has made one of its legendary dolls in her likeness. The Queen is seen in an ivory gown and blue ribbon that features her decorations of order. The tiara on the doll is based on the one that the real Queen wore on the day she married Prince Philip. Elizabeth is the longest reigning British leader and the only one to ever reach the Platinum Jubilee, which is 70 years on the throne. Barbie's tribute series started last year, and its first one was of actress Lucille Ball.
Well, plants are important, and it doesn't have to be Earth Day for us to know that.
Yeah, they contribute to the environment by doing things like creating food and oxygen. Once again, Oliver Mosser is here breaking down how plants create energy.
All right, well, thanks, Oliver. It's our last show of the semester, which means it's time to say goodbye to some seniors. Emily, we said farewell to your last producing show on Monday, but today is actually your last show with us.
Yes.
How do you feel? It's been a ride.
It has been a ride. It's been great being in this organization. I've learned a lot over the past 3.5 years that I've been here at Ball State, and I am excited to move on. I will be going to Orlando, Florida. I'm going to be a news producer there at West 2 News. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a big learning curve, but I'm very much looking forward to it.
We're excited.
But it's not just my last show here. Our director, Kaylin Simpson, is also having her last show today as well. Kaylin's been with the organization for quite a few years now. She will be heading to WNDU to work as a tech media producer after graduation. Kaylin, thank you so much for all that you have done for this organization. It has not gone unnoticed.
Oh, yeah, and she makes all the magic happen. Everything you see on screen right now, she's making it happen. I actually work at WNDU, so I'll probably go bother her in Master Control, see what's going on. It's also our sports reporter, Kara Puzurczek's last show. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with the last name. But, are you ready for graduation? How's it been?
I'm actually really excited. I'm ready to go. I've learned so much, especially this semester with waking up with Cardinal weather, and I feel like I'm ready to go into that future and work in a real newsroom, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, and it's just the stepping stone. You're just
Exactly.
getting started. So, well, congrats to all our seniors, and thank you so much for all that you've done. Now, let's take one final look at weather.
Yes, as we close out the week, it's going to be significantly warm. We talked about before, 83 on Saturday, 80 on Sunday, but still showers. And on Monday, we're going to see more showers as well. And that's going to cool us down going into next week. Unfortunately, we're going to go back to those 50-degree temperatures, and the lows are going to be pretty low in the 30s as well. But just enjoy the weekend. Take advantage of that 80-degree weather. It's going to be definitely wonderful. So spend time outside.
Well, that's all for Cardinal Weather this Friday morning. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you in the fall. Have a great rest of your Friday and a fantastic weekend.